guest wants to get the last word. Congressman Rahm Emanuel says pharmaceutical price gouging is hurting our seniors, so he's encouraging them to look elsewhere for cheaper drugs, even if it means shopping across the border. In the meantime, he sponsored a bill to make all this legal. Joining me now from Washington, Congressman Rahm Emanuel. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
Brenda, how are you?
So I'm well, thanks. So you say get the drugs however you have to, go to Canada, go to Mexico.
Well, no, I'm actually getting an echo here, so let me pull this out for this part.
Yes.
What I actually say, we have a bipartisan bill with a number of Democrats and Republicans. We had a press conference today with people like Dan Burton, not exactly somebody I see eye to eye with. We have overwhelming support of bipartisan that says that you're allowed to buy the medications in Canada, England, France, Germany, where the prices there are 50% cheaper than they are here in the United States. We would import the more affordable medications. Competition would make the medication better and more, it would make medication more affordable to our seniors and to all our American families. Second, we're about to embark on the largest expansion of an entitlement program, Medicare, in 40 years, $400 billion. I think you owe the taxpayer the respect to make sure that the money we're going to go purchase with their dollars, that we get the biggest bang for their money. And we shouldn't be paying the highest premium price. We should be paying the price that is most affordable to get the medication. And we have been bankrolling the poor Swiss, the poor Germans, the poor French, the poor English, the poor Canadians with our research dollars, our R&D tax credit. And what I'm saying is bring competition to market. You'll get taxpayer will get the benefit as well as the seniors who need it.
But the issue, though, is that critics say it's dangerous because it's difficult to guarantee the safety of those drugs. They could be expired. They're not under FDA approval.
Well, Brenda, you know the answer. First of all, 80 members of the United States Senate, Democrats and Republicans, voted for that legislation. The FDA approves the medication. That's what our bill calls for explicitly. And the FDA, the way it works today, the FDA approves the facilities and the medications, and those same facilities in the United States and in parts of Europe that manufacture the medications, manufacture them for the United States market as they do for England, Canada, France, or Germany.
You're saying only buy U.S. drugs from Canada, from Britain,
FDA,
from whatever?
It's very specific, Brenda. I'm surprised that, at the question in this one respect. It's FDA-approved medication.
Yeah, but it still could be expired.
Well, listen.
It still could be contaminated.
But Brenda, we import today food from other countries. Now, you've done stories about people who've gotten sick from strawberries. You've never done a story about somebody getting sick who goes over the border in Michigan or Wisconsin, Minnesota, who bought their medications because they're more affordable in Canada? Because it doesn't happen. Because they're FDA-approved medications. It doesn't happen. That's a red herring.
What kind of money are we talking about here? How much could this save on a save a senior?
Well, right now, given that the medications are somewhere, I don't have them with me, but we gave you a chart. Hopefully you'll put it on the screen.
Well,
but
just a typical, say...
Well, we did 10 medications of the most common medications prescribed to seniors. In the German pharmacy at the airport, they were $373. The same medications in the United States were $1,037. It was a $700 spread. So if you extrapolate, I would say this is close to about a $400 billion saving to $500 billion saving over the next 10 years.
All right.
Because that competition would that would be brought to bear in the market, would lower the prices here for seniors and American families of all ilk who need those medications.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your insight. And now the flip side. David Herman is the executive director of the Seniors Coalition and says while his organization is tied to pharmaceuticals, he wants to be very clear that's not his motivation. The bottom line, he says, foreign drugs are a risk, and allowing Americans access to those drugs is also a risk. David Herman, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
So what is the risk? I mean, if these are FDA approved, if these are American drugs that have just made their way to Canada and are a lot cheaper, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that's not true. But let me show you a red herring since the congressman brought one up. This is a drug called Humatrope. It's made by Eli Lilly. Here's another box of Humatrope. It says Eli Lilly. These two boxes appear identical. Humatrope is a human growth hormone. It's used in pediatric care, and it's a pretty important drug. This one has human growth hormone. This one has animal growth hormone. It's not the same drug. It's counterfeit. I can't tell them apart. That's the red herring the
Yeah,
Congressman's
but that
talking
could happen
about.
here in the United States. That doesn't just happen overseas.
No, but we have controls here in the United States based on FDA approvals that are incredibly important. If you look at the testimony of the FDA on June 23rd and June 24th of this year, they have flatly said they cannot vouch for the efficacy of these offshore drugs. Even an FDA-approved drug, when shipped by VAT to, let's say, a hospital in another country, and then repackaged, can be adulterated. When you open up the Internet and the importation of these drugs on a willy-nilly basis, you're going to get the equivalent of the $10 Rolex on the corner in New York. It says Rolex. It looks like it's gold, and it probably works for a week with a very inexpensive quartz movement. Right. There are a lot of people that will take advantage of anyone trying to save a dollar, and in fact, you're going to see a gray market in counterfeit drugs. You're going to see adulterated drugs. The Canadian ministry will not vouch for the safety of drugs from Canada.
So you're worried about the safety. Now, sir,
absolutely.
You are paid for, in part, by the pharmaceutical industry.
Well, let's deal with that. We're right now running some ads that the Congressman takes some umbrage at. And the organization is Safe Medicines, the Partnership for Safe Medicines. They have a website, and anyone in the audience can look them up. It's safemedicines.org. You'll see upwards of 20 members of that partnership.
Can you just answer my question? Are you paid for,
yes,
in part, by the pharmaceutical industry?
Unrestricted grants to us. In fact, we get money from pharmaceutical industry.
So that would
we also
make
get
sense.
It from a lot of places.
They're going to lose a lot of money.
Sure they are.
So it would make sense that this is the tack that you would take.
Absolutely. We look for people who have a common cause with our cause, and we join together with them. We have fought the pharmaceutical industry. We've partnered with the pharmaceutical industry. We don't see that as a bad thing. We see that as helping our constituency. Our issue is policies and seniors. It's not industries.
All right. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Up next, Merrill Lynch runs with the Bulls as Altria